everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions. I'm Todd Capps. Today, we're very happy to be with our guest, Janet Garufis. Morning, Janet.
Morning.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen. It's nice to see you too.
And we're just going to jump right in as we do. Janet Garufis, what do you stand for?
Well, that's a tough question because you have to boil it down to the very basics. And I think I just stand for fairness and decency for everyone. I've lived a long time so far, not as long as others, but if you treat people with respect and you try to encourage them and yourself to be the very best version of yourself you can be, I think we would have a much happier world.
Very well put. I appreciate that very much. And tell us a brief story of a turning point in your life, and why was it significant?
Well, that one, there have been a couple, but the most memorable is the one that brought me to Santa Barbara. I had worked most of my entire career in large banks. And there came a point in my life where I did not, after the third or fourth merger, my personal values just didn't align with the company. And it was time for me to do something different. And I took early retirement. I had always wanted to be an English teacher, an English professor. And so I pursued getting a PhD, and that's what brought me to Santa Barbara. Okay. And the rest, as they say, is history. The real turning point and why I'm at the bank and not teaching at UCSB, which is what I was doing, is that my husband became very ill with Parkinson's disease and needed to be in a place where he could be cared for. And it was imperative for me to go back to work where I could be fully employed and take care of the family. And so that's how I came to Montecito Bank and Trust, and I have never looked back.
What would you consider to be a problem that must be solved?
Well, I think it depends contextually. Are we talking about locally? If we're talking about a local problem that must be solved, there's some world problems that must be solved, but I'm not sure I can do that.
It's entirely up to you how you would like to put that in context.
Well, I'll start from 30,000 feet and work down. How's that? I mean,
Great.
I think this global pandemic is in some ways a way for us to begin getting at a solution if every single person on this planet will take it seriously. We've been given this extraordinary opportunity to completely reset the way we think about ourselves and our roles in the world. And I, for one, have found this to be a time of great learning and self-awareness and engagement with the rest of the world, because we are really learning about how other people live and how other people are impacted by these things. I live a very privileged life, and it makes me really aware of how so many people are suffering. I just think we have an opportunity to reset. And when I look locally, I think that we need to have leadership in this community that will bring us together, that will help us begin to solve the problems right here on the ground in our own backyard, and treat people with equity and respect and dignity, and make sure that every single person who lives in our community, has a decent place to live, has food on the table, they can take care of their children. These are basic things, and we need to help each other. We need to take care of each other. As I said, be the best version of ourselves that is possible to be. And it's going to take a village to make that happen. And I think we need to have the will, the political will, and the courage to do that. We have to make tough choices, and we have to be willing to stand up and do that. And we need leaders in this community who will help us.
Do you think that political will is achievable at this point? Do you think?
Well, I hope so. I'm an eternal optimist. I absolutely hope it's achievable. I mean, you can hearken back to a time maybe when this country was formed, where we the people who led us at that time, these were people who were seen as community leaders. They weren't in it for themselves. They were in it for the greater good. And I think we've lost that. I think we've lost the idea of the greater good. And that's really, I think right now, an opportunity for us to start to see why that's important and how we can be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it really does come down to the basics, and it comes down to our own approach individually.
That's what else can you control? I mean, just you can control your response, right? You can control what you do.
And hopefully enough people will do the same. And
I hope so.
Yeah. Tell us about a key mentor in your life, and how was this person important?
Well, I can't speak about course without talking about Michael Tobes. Maybe one of the most important, impactful people in my life, period. I've had some really wonderful opportunities in my lifetime, but meeting Mike and getting to know him and learning from him in ways that were through observation mostly. He was a true gentleman. Mm-hmm. He was a caring person. He saw the world around him, and he believed that, to those who were given much, much was expected, and he lived up to that every single day. And he didn't really need a lot of pats on the back for it. He did what he thought was the right thing to do, and that really has sort of been my mantra for my whole life: do the right thing. Mm-hmm. And to meet somebody who had that many more years experience, and to be able to be so simpatico and have him have the confidence in me that he did, gave me the opportunity to become the very best version of myself, and to keep doing that every day. And for him to trust me the way he did. I mean, really, it wasn't very long after I became president of the bank that he really just said, "No, Janet runs the bank. You go ask her."
Wow.
And there was a great responsibility, but it was also a great opportunity. And I have never felt more satisfied or fulfilled with any work I've done than the work I've been given here. It's really an extraordinary opportunity.
Well, what a blessing to have a person like Mike Tobes
kidding.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, what an impact he's made
yes.
profoundly on this community.
Yes.
Wow. Well, we're moving right along. We're actually up to the fifth and final question this morning. What gives you hope?
My grandchildren. I mean, honestly, I know that sounds really trite, but no. I have granddaughters ranging in ages from 9 months to 6 years old. And to watch your grandchildren become people, it's different than when your children grow up. You're so involved in, just keeping it together every day. Yeah. But when you see the world through their eyes, and the simplicity, just the sheer simplicity of the way they see things, it gives me hope that, the world will be a better place, because they are the future. And in some weird way, this whole coronavirus thing gives me hope that, this is just an unbelievable chance for us all to just, push the reset button and just do better. Just commit to doing better.
I couldn't agree more. It's a huge opportunity if enough people are willing to see it that way, and we can shift enough collective energy in those positive directions.
Well, and we have nothing to lose by seeing it that way, and everything to gain. So why not?
Exactly. How many grandchildren do you have? 4
granddaughters.
Oh.
And they're just each of my 2 sons has 2 daughters, and they're just absolutely a delight.
Are you keeping in touch during this time?
Oh yeah, we FaceTime and all that sort of thing, and it's been great.
Good. Well, I really appreciate you coming on this morning and giving the community a chance to get to know you a little better.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Todd. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for the good work you're doing with Common Table. The more we all talk to each other and get to know each other as human beings, the better off we'll all be.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate you saying that. It means a lot coming from you, especially.
Oh, thanks.
So on behalf of Common Table Foundation, thank you all for joining us again with 5 questions. And thank you, Janet Garufis. And we'll see you all again next time.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.